Hello, darlings. It's Aria here, and I decided that it was pertinent that I do a video on dog breeds, specifically what breed you might want to be if you were going to get into puppy play. Um, I think one of my friends is also going to be doing a dog breed one, and probably in greater detail. What I'm doing is I chose breeds that I thought people might be interested in. They're popular breeds for people to own just as like normal like real dogs too. And they have kind of extreme personalities, and so I thought that might be kind of cool. You can see my ears blowing in the wind here, my fur, because it's ridiculously hot here right now. So I've got my fan blaring above me, and I've got the window open. So hopefully, we'll cool down a little bit. Cause California, well, I'm sure you guys know California is famous for being super hot. But yeah. So first of all, I wanted to say that it is very important when in pet play that, at least for me, and I think it's this way for a lot of people, visualizing yourself as a pet is huge, because if you don't see what you look like in your mind, you can't really get into pet space. So for me, before I even started pet playing at all, because I learned about it and then I was like, huh, that's for me. I want to puppy play, but I need to figure out what breed I am and what I look like, and am I a puppy or am I a dog, and what size am I, and what personality traits fit me in a dog. So, as I've said in some of my previous videos, I am a husky mix, mostly husky with a little bit of wolf, probably on my grandpa's side, wherever, who knows. But so for huskies, one, I really liked the look. Huskies are gorgeous, gorgeous dogs, if I don't say so myself. And I swear I'm not like super conceited, you guys. In fact, it's like totally the opposite, but that's how my personality comes off sometimes, I feel like. So don't be offended ever. But yeah, so huskies are highly intelligent dogs. They're work dogs. So we need a lot of things to do. Personally for me, I need to keep myself busy. If I don't, I feel like I'm going crazy. So I have a job, I go to school, I'm in shows, I do this, that, and the other thing. I was tutoring for a while. I always need to be doing something. If I'm not doing that, then I'm at home doing this for you guys, or perusing Instagram looking for something to do. I'll be making cuffs, like I made this. I'm rocking my Mass Effect garb today, so that's what's going on with that. But yeah, so we constantly need something to do. I have notes over here, so that's what's going on with me. We're friendly pretty much with everyone. So for owners and stuff, they just need to understand that it's our personalities that we are friendly. It can sometimes come off as flirting, and it's not. That's not necessarily what it is. It's really just like, hey, let's be friends. I want to be friends with everyone. So there is that. We are friendly, but we don't always need attention. And you've heard me say this before, that puppies really, really, really love their attention. And I think that really is the case, especially when you're puppy playing. There's puppy and then there's dog. And dogs are a little bit more mature. They don't need attention quite as often, but they still do like their attention. So, for me though, I definitely need my time alone. If I don't get my time alone, I start going stir crazy, and like I end up, not really like biting, like aren't biting, but like my words will bite. So I don't want to be snippy with the people I love. So I do need my time alone. We're pack animals. We love being around other dogs, people, whatever. I'm sure for those of you who have seen any movies with huskies in them, you see that they work together as a team to get the job done. So that's a pretty big thing. Um, we are kind of huskies are more on the dominant side, and they're more on the like, you know, am I really going to do what you want me to do, or am I going to push as hard as I can back at you and see, how you respond. And that's you need a strong leader. If you're a husky, you need an alpha. You really so if you're trying to get your master to train you and tame you and all that, they really do need to be an dominant person, an innately dominant person. Otherwise, you're gonna end up topping from the bottom. And it's happened a couple of times with me, and I feel bad about it, but I'm also like, in my day-to-day life, I am a very dominant person, but I do want to be able to give that to someone who I trust. So they have to be dominant. They have to be able to not control you, but, tame you. Kind of like a lion. Um, Oh, and yeah, we can be destructive. When we get bored, we can be destructive. I've said it before, and I kind of related it to my mouse tendencies, but we can tear up the house. It's not necessarily just chewing on stuff. Like, my house just. I get bored and I'll like start an art project, and then I'll, go on to something else, and I won't clean up the art project, this, that, or the other thing. So, and one last thing is huskies bark sometimes, but what we really like to do is ow! So, if you have neighbors, you need to teach your husky that they need to howl quietly or not at all, or only when you're in the wild. So, that's huskies. That's my breed. And because of their personalities, they are very, very closely linked to wolves. So the little bit of wolf in there is really just, I don't know. I feel like I have some wolf in me. I feel like I've got a little bit of a bite. So there's that. The next one that I want to talk about is Chihuahuas. You guys are probably like, I don't know if I would want to be a Chihuahua. Chihuahuas are cool breeds. Like real animal Chihuahuas, I'm not wild about their looks, but they are some really intelligent animals, and I have met a couple of real Chihuahuas that have been like, you're freaking adorable. So this is just giving you guys some ideas if you're looking for a breed that you're trying to be. There's not necessarily a lot of pet gear out there for different breeds of dogs. In fact, there's like even for huskies and wolves, there's not a whole lot of pet gear out there, but there's more and more places opening up that you can get your stuff customized and everything. So don't worry about that. You really just need to go with what is your personality, because you still want to be you even when you're a dog. So just, yeah. So anyway, Chihuahuas. Chihuahuas are one of the breeds that need constant attention. If they don't get it, they will trash the house. They will become very, sad and like introverted, and if they don't get enough attention, especially as puppies, then they can get scared a lot. And that's, I think, it might also be a genetic thing, but Chihuahuas shake a lot, and they can be skittish if they're not socialized. So that's very, very important. They are very loyal to one or two people. So if you have a couple of very, very close friends that you like, that's the only people you see, and like you spend your time with them and your master, or your family and your master, or you're just like I'm loyal to these people and I don't want to deal with everyone else's BS, then you might be a Chihuahua, and you might just be like very close to them. They are intelligent, as I said. They can become really prissy and spoiled if you give them what they want too often, and that tends to happen with Chihuahuas because they're just so cute, and you just wanna, give them everything. But for dominance, or Chihuahuas who want a dominant, just let them know, like, if I get everything, then I'm gonna want everything, and I'm gonna have to be you know trained a little bit more on that. They are curious and sometimes too brave for their own good. That's where the little dog complex comes in. I'm sure some of you guys have heard of that. Chihuahuas are little and they're not very strong physically, and sometimes that makes them want to like puff up and be like, hey, you know what, like, I can do this, I'm just as tough as you. They're not, though. So you need to protect them from themselves just as much as you need to protect them from others. And so that's important. And they're not great with kids or other dogs. So I mean, of course, that comes down to training and socialization. If you get on it at a younger age or a younger pet play age, it should be okay, but just be wary of that. Okay, so we're gonna move on to Labradors, because I know Labradors are like America's #1 dog, and like everyone loves them. And probably a lot of you feel like you might relate to Labradors. I don't know. I certainly, like, I considered Labrador as one of my pets, but husky just worked out better for me. But so Labradors, a lot of people know about them. They're very, very intelligent, very, very friendly, and they're probably one of the most loyal dogs. And they're super sweet and hardworking. And that's pretty much with labs. They're one of the easier dogs to train too, and they're very, very eager to please. So if you are like, yes, I want to do everything like right away perfectly, and I want you being master to love me, and like just I want to do everything right, you might be a lab. They are highly active and need to be, and if they're not active, then they get bored and just have way too much energy at the end of the day and end up bouncing off the walls. So that's pretty much all I have on labs. If you guys have any questions, let me know, because I'm just going off of generalizations. I did a little bit of research before this video so that I could be as accurate as possible. So yeah, that's labs. Next one is Dalmatians, and Dalmatians are such a cool breed, such a gorgeous breed, and fun to be, I imagine. Dalmatians are super competitive, and they're active, and so that's one thing to look out for if you're a Dalmatian or you own a Dalmatian. They're gonna want to win things, and that could be fights, that could be video games if you're gaming with your partner, or even in BDSM play, they could want to win things. So you do need to train them really well. However, Dalmatians don't respond very well to negative reinforcement. They're very sensitive. So if you're a sensitive person, you might be a Dalmatian. You might want rewards and treats more than you want punishments, and so that might be something to consider. If you're less of a masochist, you might be a Dalmatian. There's more on Dalmatians. I lost my spot though. Oh, you love games and working. So a lot of these dogs are working dogs. They really like to stay busy. I think it's probably just a dog trait in general, is that you like to stay busy. Last but not least, we have poodles. Poodles, of course, are famous for being really elegant and proud. That isn't to say that they're prissy, because they're not. Because poodles were originally bred to be water retrievers. So poodles, if you like water, there are a couple of breeds who really like water. There are a couple of breeds who like heat more, like Chihuahuas are gonna like heat more. Huskies obviously want the cold more. That's why California is not a good place for me. Labs like to swim, poodles like to swim. So you can take that into consideration when you're choosing your breed. But yeah, so poodles are water dogs, and they are playful, but they've always kind of got a dignified air to them. So if you're kind of like, yeah, I am playful, I am, but I am also, I'm also still proud. I also am, I'm a little too. It's almost like poodles have a little bit of puppy and a little bit of cat in them, if you know what I mean. Because the cats, like, if you guys have seen cats play, they'll play a little bit and then they'll kind of stand back and they're like, I'm too good for this game. I hope you know. But then they'll start playing with that laser again that they can't, catch. But they do it in a very dignified way, usually, unless they fall off a table or something. Let's not get into that. But so that's kind of how I view poodles. Is they've got half dog characteristics, half cat characteristics. So if you're kind of like, I don't know if I'm a kitten or a puppy, you could go in between and be both, kind of. And oh yes, they're not snobby. They are friendly dogs. They love being around other people. They get very, very lonely if they're left alone for too long. So be mindful of that. Keep, self-care. Keep yourself around people if you need to be around people. And then the last note for them is they are mischievous, and at the same time they're often very calm. So if you're a calm person, who likes to play sometimes, but in a dignified way, you're a poodle. So that is it for the breeds that I did research on. If you guys want to hear about more breeds, any breeds in particular, or whatever, just leave me a comment below, or hit me up on Instagram. You can DM me. I don't mind, just as long as it's not dirty, because I am taken. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope this helped and gave a little bit of insight into the life of dogs and what what you could choose to be. Sorry, I'm talking a lot with my hands, and it's because I have a sign language final tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes. So thank you guys if you made it this far, and if you didn't, either way, just thank you for watching my videos, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!